Welcome back. You got Will and I-Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, and Rovi, and today we're going to be talking about Binance and FUD, and the most disgusting of all FUDs so far.
Yeah, dude, this is a juicer for sure. I haven't felt. You know what?
I've been calling this for years.
I think so.
Yeah.
I've been raising the alarm bells on Binance
Yeah.
because I was one of the few who got to witness the egregious activities. I guess that's how I would label it as. Just
Yeah.
And trust me, dude, I'm not a savvy back then, especially in 2017. I was not a savvy investor. I didn't have like tons of experience around like markets or anything like that, but
Yeah.
I intuitively felt like Binance was doing something wrong just by being a user of that platform and seeing it like roll out.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this feels icky. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way this should be, allowed. And
Yeah.
to elaborate on exactly what I'm talking about, I think just to quickly summarize, back in those days, right, when anybody launches a new exchange, it's kind of hard to attract liquidity to your platform, right?
Right.
So, but they galvanize an incentive mechanism, which is, they roll out a new project like a Tron or a Walton coin on their ecosystem, and then they would incentivize people to trade these tokens with rewards.
Yeah. Lambos, literally.
Literally Lambos.
Yeah.
And like whoever trades the best over the next week for this token in particular wins a Lambo.
Yeah.
And then boom, a project that was absolutely unknown,
Useless.
probably like 50,000 on daily volume, went to hundreds of millions of dollars in 24-hour volume.
Yeah.
To me, that felt very weird, very sketch, very like potentially illegal. But like I said, I wasn't savvy and didn't know enough.
It's like, okay, I guess this is how it works.
Yeah. And then everybody piles in, right? Hey, it's fucking working. So, I mean, obviously you want to be trading in a liquid token, right? Because that gives you the most ups and downs, the volatility you're seeking as a trader.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, Binance became very quickly the top exchange on the planet.
And not only for those sketchy reasons, but also it was a good platform. It was easy to use.
Yeah.
It was a lot better than what existed before.
True. But
more
it had a
options for
great
coins.
user interface. And they galvanized a nice little narrative, the whole Chinese mania back in 2017, Neo, the Chinese Ethereum.
Yeah.
Basically anything. If any crypto product that was related to China at the time was very in demand, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Until, I don't know, things happened. The Chinese government disagreed. It's like, we don't want to support this yet.
Yeah.
Until we completely control and dominate this stuff. So
Yeah.
kind of inverse that sentiment. But nonetheless, Binance never lost their foothold on the industry, right?
Yeah.
They've only grown bigger and bigger and bigger.
And we're going to show how big towards the end of this conversation. But in the context of why we're talking about Binance, Sam Bankman-Fried was just arrested last night.
Yeah.
On December 12th.
Yes.
And he was supposed to testify in front of Congress today,
which
December 13th.
It already happened?
It already happened. I listened to 80% of it, and they were calling out that it's suspicious that they requested for him to get arrested the day before he was going to testify.
It reminded me of the scene out of Scarface, dude.
Yeah.
Like where the guy who's going to narc on the whole drug industry what government's officials are affiliated or involved in that angle. Yeah, he's going to go testify to Congress, and then they're supposed to potato bomb him, dude. But Tony Montana had a soft part in his heart, and he's like, fuck you, and he shot him in the face.
Yeah.
So a little less extreme, less dramatic, but same principle, right?
Because there was a child in the car, right?
Yeah. But I'm talking about in the Sam case. I mean, I don't think anybody tried to potato bomb him.
No, they didn't.
You never know.
Yet.
Yeah, not yet. But somebody felt that he's like, let's get him.
You know what? Maybe they were saving his life. Testify. Maybe somebody was going to potato bomb him, and they was like, you know what? Let's
just arrest the kid.
Yeah, let's just arrest him and.
Who knows, dude? Who knows? But this just adds so much more like spicy verticals.
Yeah. To
this whole tale that we've been bestowed.
Yeah.
Over the last month or two.
And so now there's a ton of. It feels like a coordinated attack against Binance.
Yeah, because now CZ's under the microscope. It seems like, and people are predicting like they're next for many different reasons, right?
And like you were stating, you were smelling something disgusting even way before like all this FUD, like for years. And so now it could be true, right? Binance could be going down.
Well, yeah, my line of thinking is because people CZ's obviously out there. He's very public.
Yeah.
Especially after what he took down Sam as like, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's
I'm
actually
the good guy.
I'm the one looking out for all you
Yeah.
plebs,
Yeah.
right? You guys need to trust me and my operation. I'm holy. I do
Yeah.
no wrong. But if you were around early enough, again, you caught a glimpse of what kind of like a ruthless capitalist he actually is.
Yeah.
Right. He'll do anything to get that edge and to win. Right. So he's kind of has those same sociopathic elements that I think somebody like a Sam Bankman-Fried has. So all I'm saying is just because he's in this huge position where he has like the most volume in his exchange, that mentality doesn't go away.
Right.
That ruthless capitalist.
Right.
And that tends to usually make you go down these pathways of corruption and fraud and all kinds of potential bad things, right? So.
Yeah. And so as of today, it looks like there's the largest 24-hour outflow of Bitcoin on Binance ever, with 39,000 Bitcoin leaving the platform. And so this is just the first step of like a series of tweets here. And so we go to the next one. And Binance responds to the outflow of this Bitcoin. And he was like, business as usual.
Yeah.
And he has a tweet that describes like, this is sort of like a good idea for projects, specifically exchanges, to go through to make sure that they're solvent, that they have the resources to actually send to people, right, when they're trying to extract funds.
Yeah, to combat, I guess, the withdrawal requests, right? If you're truly liquid, like you're supposedly say you are, and CZ says he does not operate on fractional reserve systems, right, to support his exchange. He's a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
Right? That's why he's the one. He's all like proof of reserves, brah. So this is basically him telling the world, bring it.
Yeah.
Like, take all your money out, bitch. It's like, I got you covered. You know? So we'll see what happens. This could literally be just the beginnings of another,
bank run.
Potentially. And we'll see, man. He probably is in the position where he can cover whatever comes at him. So
maybe he is over collateralized. If he is using a fractional reserve banking, he might be over collateralized. He could cover everything, and everything is fine for him.
Yeah. So that's
however,
yeah.
There are these officials who are leaking information, execs bailing, institutional capital fleeing, and charges coming. So there's this tweet that this guy shared with a snapshot.
This is a Twitter DM, right?
Looks
like it.
Yeah. It is a Twitter DM, and basically it says they've confirmed leadership losses, accounting contacts have serious issues with the POR. No reporter can confirm or identify the parent or ownership structure of Binance, and can't track down the meaningful listing of executives beyond CZ. All items and stories that are set to come out from outlets for like CNBC, Bloomberg, and TruthDAO.
I mean, all those accusations sound eerily similar to FTX.
Yeah.
All of them, right? So,
so the proof of reserves that he's talking about here aren't good enough to show that Binance is completely solvent. So
solvency isn't the only potential issue for like any exchange, right? There's other verticals of,
leverage.
Yeah, just mismanagement, doing things that can potentially be, you can have criminal
money
charges.
Laundering. Yeah.
Money laundering.
Yeah.
Insider trading, all kinds of things,
but that insider trading and money laundering, you could still take out your funds. It would be the biggest problem for Binance if people tried to do a bank run and they couldn't extract funds. That's bigger than money laundering, in my opinion.
So let's paint out a scenario like, what are these insiders, these anons who are bringing about all these, suspicions that in the next coming weeks somebody's gonna roll out all these different accusations towards CZ.
Yeah.
As long as they are truly solvent internally, like no matter what,
is it a big deal?
It can't potentially result in like an FTX level debacle.
It doesn't seem like it.
As long as they have the solvency,
as long as I don't think it would be as big of a downfall like FTX.
Yeah, just like there's criminal charges. Okay, CZ now is
now in jail, but Binance is still operational.
Yeah, maybe not in jail, but he's going through like this lengthy court proceedings.
Yeah.
I mean, it will definitely continue to disincentivize people to deposit funds onto Binance, right? Because there's just too many question marks.
Sure.
shit, they might even like freeze like whatever government agencies. I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
This is what's looming, right? This FUD. And it feels very weird and coordinated, as if it's all coming at the same time from all these different sources, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What do you think, dude?
Well, I mean, they could be doing a lot of things. So I don't. It doesn't seem like it's the same, type of issue that FTX was dealing with, like over leverage trading and all that.
No.
But if Binance is caught doing something shady, I mean, it's not a good look for crypto. Prices are going to go down, and it's going to have a huge impact. But having said that, it says here from 70 billion in reserves and their proof of reserves to 58 billion in 3 weeks. Since we don't know if reserves were borrowed against, it's unknown if the extreme outflow asset devaluation poses liquidity risk.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't verify, don't trust. So basically, they're showing that they have $58 billion worth of reserves and no total debts. Which, if it's 1 for 1, I mean, that should be pretty accurate. But the speculation is that something else is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, we have the U.S. Justice Department pondering charges against Binance. This is according to 4 anonymous officials who spoke to Reuters.
More anons, yeah.
At least 6 federal prosecutors think the evidence accumulated thus far supports the bringing of criminal charges against Binance and its principal leaders, including CZ.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that's his real name.
Yeah, Changpeng.
But he has a real name, Changpeng Zhao.
Yeah.
So that's CZ, dude.
So, we got officials claiming that they have enough evidence to put at least CZ under scrutiny here.
So this is, just to be clear, we've heard, like, through the grapevine, we're pretty deeply embedded ourselves in this whole Web3 world. We know some peeps.
Yeah.
And we've heard through the grapevine that there's something looming around, like the discussions of, I guess, and very important people in this Web3 space, that something is known that could potentially, fuck with the whole industry even more than FTX did, right?
Yeah.
This sounds like on the scale of something like that could potentially actually be true, right? But as of right now, none of this is actual confirmed anything.
Yeah.
Right? It's just speculation and
if they're doing money laundering at the scale of multiple billions, then yes, you're right. If it's like they did some illegal stuff and like people can still extract their funds, I don't think it's FTX level like nuke.
No, but it's gonna if as long as everybody Binance, they're getting charged, they're no longer allowed to. They have to freeze or suspend operations during the investigation or something like that.
Yeah.
That's still huge, right? Even though everybody gets to withdraw their funds, but it's kind of like now we're going to have funds in limbo. Yeah. Nobody knows who to trust anymore. And they kind of give you like a scale or scope of what that means. Like let's look and see how much Binance dominates the actual market itself.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, 55%.
They're almost Pac-Man status, dude. Like that's like a 80% Pac-Man right there.
Yeah. And compare that to Coinbase at 5.3%. So this chart came from October 2022. So, this is a recent chart, and we're looking at the dominance of Binance. This could be attributed to the shadiness that they were doing that allowed them to accrue such a dominance.
Well, yeah, I mean,
how do you do this?
I mean, you tap into, I guess, the actual market of crypto, which is like,
degens,
very Asian dominated, I think.
Yeah.
Binance can service that market very well, and they that was their initial demographic, right? Yeah. And it was just network effect, and, they just did a really good job, I guess. I told you, those early day contests, not many people talk about those for whatever reason, but that was like the catalyst, in my opinion, to a lot of fuckery. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
It onboarded tons of users, man, and traffic, and all of a sudden, like you said, the user interface was superior, so
yeah,
it was the bait to bring people in, and they just had, a nice cozy environment.
I wonder if any of these other like OKX and Upit, they did the same thing that Binance did.
Oh,
trading competitions.
Yeah, I remember KuCoin was doing it too. Everybody was like, "Damn, this shit works."
Yeah. So why Binance got so big and not any of these other guys?
Because they did it first.
Huh. Yeah.
They did it first.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want a Lambo?
Yeah, so my point is these are things that happened a long time ago. We're talking 4 or 5 years ago, and they got swept under the rug. Nobody really looked at them because they've been doing so much more since then.
Mm-hmm.
But if
they have the origins are shady, that means there's a good chance that their continuous operation is shady.
That, and they just do a really good job of hiding things. And after this is more of the contagion, right? FTX has kind of like garnered a lot of attention from regulators and governing bodies. Like, hey, this is a industry you need to like kind of look at, make sure things are going, okay.
Yeah.
So now Binance is on the hot seat, right? And like the public is kind of pushing this sentiment as well.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody's kind of looking at Binance like, hey, man, what are you guys doing? Like,
yeah, I feel like this is so close to FTX. The fact that he's saying is this is a business as usual.
Yeah.
That's the exact same thing that Sam said, right?
Yeah.
He was like, FTX US is completely solvent, so you guys don't have to worry.
Yeah, as like the house of cards
was coming down.
And people were pointing it out, right? Like, hey man, you're losing tons of liquidity. Like, are you good? You good, bro? And they're like, dude, everything's fine.
Yeah.
And that was the criminal act, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that's what he's being charged of?
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, commingling of funds, and
that's the big one.
Yeah. And so, we were just wanting to show you the potential impact of Binance potentially going down. Like, I mean, there's nothing bigger than this.
We made a video or podcast. So we did something like a couple weeks ago about like the top 3 things that could potentially be worse than FTX. And this was one of them.
Yeah, this is one of them.
Right.
Tether was the other one. And then I guess
the systemic risk of all
crypto being
all utility tokens being deemed securities.
Yeah.
That would definitely put a hamper on things without a doubt.
Yeah.
But this is massive.
Yeah.
Right? It's so hard. Just look at the FTX pie. The little pink one. That's FTX, right? The pink.
Oh, FTX. Yeah, right here. Yeah.
Dude, nothing in comparison, man.
Yeah.
It's like, look at the damage that happened.
Hopefully Binance has everybody's funds.
Hopefully, my suspicions are, hopefully he's had like a change of heart and he's like this pure guy. He really is holy, like he says he is. And he has all of our best interests at heart. He's not a capitalist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And nothing is found, and Binance remains dominant, I guess.
Yeah.
But maybe this needs to happen in order for Web3 to really take off, right? Maybe we need to, this is not Web3. Binance dominating.
No, definitely not.
The ecosystem like this.
But you know what? We need on-ramps and off-ramps. And so we're going to need things like Binance and Coinbase. So, I mean, these are a necessary evil unless we have merchants start accepting USDC or DAI.
Yeah.
Right? And then we don't need these exchanges.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, this is something we have to keep our eyes on, lads. So, because, it's literally unfolding as we speak. Who knows? While we've been talking, maybe another billion was withdrawn.
Like CZ has been arrested.
Yeah. So, keep our eyes on it. See what happens to Sam as well. Yeah, the juice is on, dude.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a podcast talking about the Congress. The current CEO of FTX was just in Congress today, kind of disclosing everything he's discovered. And there were some nuggets of pretty interesting information that we're going to be discussing over the podcast. So that's going to come out on Saturday. You should be seeing this video today, December 13th. And stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner, at MetaZone.io, and at Rovi AI. And we will catch you in this video. The next video.
And in this one, too.
Yeah, in this one.